Hey, what's going on, Nostalgics? It's Ryan from the Nostalgia Factor here, and today, guys, I just wanted to do a brief vlog-style gaming video slash mini collection showcase. So it's been a little bit since I've been active on the channel, and while I'm not guaranteeing that I'm going to be uploading every day or anything like that, because, life and whatnot happens, but I figured for this one, guys, I'd reach out and just kind of do a little thing here where I talk about some content that I'd like to experiment with here on the channel. I've actually recently, and by recently I mean like last year, I think I started playing this series in August, actually. I started playing the Final Fantasy series. You guys know what this series is by now. Massive RPG series filled with tons of great games, a few not so great games in here and there, but all in all a very legendary and iconic gaming series. And I figured I would experiment with a little bit of gaming discussion content and whatnot surrounding the Final Fantasy series. Now, of course, there would be other types of content like other reviews of games and whatnot here and there that aren't related to the Final Fantasy series, but I want to experiment a little bit and do some content surrounding a series that I'm currently very much into, and I figured to kind of keep it brief for this video, I'd show you guys a few pieces from a new retro collection I've started of Final Fantasy merchandise, because this is one of my favorite video game series, and Final Fantasy VII, as of current as well, is one of my favorite video games of all time, and other games potentially depending, because I have a few replays in mind for the future, but in general, though, 7 is one of my favorite video games, and I love many of the games in this series. So just letting you guys know that I'm going to try and experiment with some future Final Fantasy content here and there, as well as some other content like reviews, for games in general. Okay, guys, so to start this off a little bit, I only have a few pieces here to show you guys, because merchandise is rare and expensive to obtain. But the first thing I have here is an Aerith PlayArts Kai figure from Crisis Core, which is the prequel game to Final Fantasy VII. This is, for those of you who have played the Final Fantasy series, you'll know that this is, not Aerith's original depiction in Final Fantasy VII, but this is the outfit that ended up coming along with her appearance in Crisis Core. So this is actually the first piece of merchandise I got for my Final Fantasy collection. Very, very cool piece. Very glad to have this one in the collection, but this is the first one. It's nothing amazing or anything like that, but it's something that I find extremely cool in how detailed a lot of this stuff was. And like I said, Final Fantasy merchandise is very expensive, so this is piece 1 of 5. The next piece I have here, guys, is actually a figure of Bahamut Sin, which is the big monster summoned by Kadaj and a bunch of the Sephiroth clones, if you want to call them that, in Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, which is the sequel movie to the original game. Very detailed figure. I picked this one up about a month or two ago now, as of this video, but very cool figure. I haven't actually watched Advent Children yet. I've seen plenty of clips of it, but watching the movie from start to finish, not exactly as much. You guys can probably tell here. All these I got online, by the way. The inner packaging of the Bahamut figure is very, very yellowed, apparently with age, but of course it's never been opened. It's still in box and whatnot, so very cool piece to have for the collection here as well. The next one we have here is a PlayArts Kai figure of Tifa, one of the main characters from the original Final Fantasy VII. A lot of these figures were based off of the characters' original designs and depictions in Final Fantasy VII. I know, Tifa, for example, alongside the Aerith one, they have, well, Aerith has an original depiction, I think, released alongside the Advent Children release, but I know Tifa for sure has a different design and outfit variation for Advent Children, since, it takes place 2 years later and whatnot. I don't have that one, but this was a really cool one to track down. This ended up being one of the more pricey figures, actually, of the ones I have in the collection, and one of the harder ones to find, but a very cool addition nonetheless. Next one we have here is an original depiction of Vincent Valentine, also from the original Final Fantasy VII. This one actually ended up being one of the more cheaper pieces I got for the collection. Some of these were pricier, as you can probably imagine, considering how every day, they're not making this video game merchandise anymore, and Final Fantasy being a notorious video game series. But this was another cool one to pick up. I really like Vincent in Final Fantasy VII, even though he doesn't have much story or really character development outside of a few scenes here and there. He gets fleshed out more in the Dirge of Cerberus, which is the Final Fantasy VII game sequel to the original, which apparently isn't of great quality, but I haven't fully played it yet to tell you for sure. Nonetheless, though, really cool figure as well, and I really like how the background of the box matches with the red motif Vincent has on his cloak. And this one, guys, is the biggest piece of my Final Fantasy collection currently. It is based off of Cloud and his bike, Fenrir, I believe the name of it is, from Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, which again is the sequel movie. This one is actually a bigger box than expected, so I got this as a gift from my family for a graduation gift since I graduated college a few months ago. And I can tell you, this box was bigger than expected. When I initially saw the listing online, I figured, oh, okay, so it's going to be like a decent sized box, like what the Bahamut Sin figure like ended up being. No, turns out this is far bigger than expected. And yeah, you can display these, but I prefer to have this original merchandise in box and whatnot. So that's just me. And there's like some images for some of the other characters from Advent Children. That's the Tifa figure I was referencing earlier. But this is really cool too. I love the depiction of Cloud here, the outfit and whatnot that he has, the bike's cool design, the multiple swords that he has, I'm aware of from the actual movie itself. So very, very cool all in all. I very much like this piece. Definitely a forefront for this collection. And that's about it, guys. This is just kind of a vlog to kind of show off a bit of merchandise that I have from a video game series that I've come to love, that I've been playing for the past several months, since, again, about August last year. And to kind of let you guys know, the channel's not dead or anything like that either. I'm going to try and upload some content here and there. I'm not going to guarantee any time frames or time windows or anything like that, because, you know, again, life stuff happens. I still have some school events coming up here in a few months and whatnot, but try and keep you guys updated as much as I can, or when I can, that is. But just wanted to showcase this, let you guys know about some Final Fantasy-esque gaming discussion videos, and some potential gaming reviews. I played a lot of games since the last video, and I have quite a bit to say about most of them. So, we'll see what happens with that in the future, guys, but just wanted to let you know, hello. Maybe expect some Final Fantasy discussion videos of sorts in the future, as well as some game reviews, and yeah, just look forward to any future content. Thank you guys all for still supporting the channel despite any hiatuses, and just let you know, I appreciate you guys. But let me know what you guys think about the collection in the comment section down below, any future reviews you'd like me to do, and anything interesting about Final Fantasy you'd like to discuss in the comments with me as well. With that in mind though, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you guys want to keep up with any content, like the video if you did enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.